A wave of protest has swept the Middle East from Lebanon to Iran and Iraq, and thousands of people have taken to the streets since October demanding better lives, work, more freedom and an end to repression by authoritarian regimes. In Lebanon, those protests have been peaceful, but in Iran and Iraq, hundreds have been shot dead by the authorities. This new challenge comes at a time of wider instability. The United States has long armed and supported key regional allies, including the Sunni Muslim Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the State of Israel. Both are enemies of Shia Muslim Iran, which has long been a powerful challenge to the US alliance. Iran has extended its influence in neighbouring Iraq and supports proxy armies in the region, including the powerful Hezbollah militia in Lebanon. Our Middle East editor Jeremy Bowen sent this report on the growing unrest in the region.
In the Middle East, new protests are clogging streets and rattling regimes. The Lebanese call theirs a revolution. So far, it's been mainly peaceful. In Iraq and Iran, hundreds have been killed. Protesters are mostly young, with homegrown grievances that are shared across the region. They don't want their parents' hard lives blighted by unemployment and the power of corrupt, repressive elites. In Beirut, they protested outside Iraq's embassy about the killing of so many Iraqi demonstrators in the last few weeks.
We've seen coffins in the streets of Iraqi cities, all of young Iraqis who just went to the street to demand to live free of militias. And here in Lebanon, we also we want to live in dignity in our country, free of any foreign interference.
Let's say there are two main camps in the Middle East. One of them we can call Team America. It also includes Saudi Arabia and Israel. The other one is Team Iran. It also includes the Assad regime in Syria, Iraq, and the strongest single group here in Lebanon, Hezbollah, which is a Shia Muslim movement. Now, the Iranians need their allies. They use them to try to project power. But they've got a real problem at the moment because the demonstrations have shown that anti-Iranian feeling is growing in Iraq and here in Lebanon.
Iraqis risk getting shot dead because they're desperate after years of war, invasion, and corrupt and incompetent leadership. Iraq has oil. Its people should be well off. Protesters have burnt down Iranian consulates. They believe Tehran's strong influence in Iraq is a big part of their problems. Senior Iranians are believed to be there, possibly directing the repression. Back home in Iran 2 weeks ago, protesters went from opposing a big fuel price rise to chanting slogans against the regime. The security forces killed around 200, mainly young working-class men, and arrested thousands. The bloodshed reminded older Iranians of the last days of the Shah before the Islamic Revolution 40 years ago. In Iran, endemic corruption and mismanagement are now made worse by harsh American sanctions. That's bad news for Team Iran, but using this crisis to up the pressure might not help Team America much.
Thank you very much for seeing us.
Naim Qassem is the second in command of Hezbollah, classified as terrorists by Israel, the US and Britain. He's a Shia cleric, like Iran's leaders. What if Israel or the US attacked Iran, attacked its nuclear facilities? Would you then use your weapons against Israel?
I don't know what could happen. But what I do know is that any aggression of such scale could ignite the whole region. And those who initiated the aggression will take a big responsibility and also take responsibility for very large-scale reactions.
That sounds like a threat to me.
You can interpret it as you wish, but it is not about a threat or a lack of a threat. We have the right to defend ourselves in confronting Israel.
The protesters want to get rid of an old order that won't go easily. Iran's leaders and their allies want to save the status quo, not change it. Another storm is brewing in the Middle East. Jeremy Bowen, BBC News, Beirut.